Wealth follows laws like math. The church hid the equation, but today we break down the formula. No fluff, just results. Chosen ones, hear me clearly now. This is not an ordinary moment, and this is not a random collision of words and attention. This is a message from God, arriving with precision, not emotion, with structure, not superstition. Divine timing is exact. You were not led here by chance, curiosity, or habit. You were positioned here because your spirit is ready to understand what was deliberately kept vague for generations. What you have felt stirring inside you, the restlessness, the dissatisfaction with surface-level answers, the sense that something vital has been withheld, is not confusion. It is recognition. You are not broken. You are waking up. For too long, wealth was framed as mystery, luck, or moral compromise. But the truth is simpler and more confronting. Wealth operates by laws as precise as numbers. Just as gravity does not respond to belief but to principle, abundance responds to alignment, not pleading. The error was never in God's design. It was in the distortion of the teaching. Systems learned that uninformed faith is easier to control than awakened understanding. So the equation was hidden behind guilt, fear, and misinterpretation. But what is hidden can be revealed, and what is revealed can be applied. You are here because your mind can now hold this truth without misusing it. That is why the delay existed. That is why your path felt obstructed while others advanced effortlessly. You were not being denied, you were being prepared. The divine does not release power to an unready vessel. The waiting seasons were not punishments, they were calibrations. Your thoughts were being refined, your intentions were being purified. Your consciousness was being expanded beyond survival into stewardship. This is your spiritual awakening. The tension you have felt, the internal war between what you see and what you know should be possible, is the friction of transition. Old programming is dissolving. New perception is activating. You are beginning to understand that wealth is not something you chase. It is something that responds. Every external result is a mirror of an internal order. When your inner world is chaotic, resources scatter. When your inner world is aligned, resources organize themselves toward you. This is not metaphor. This is law. Your divine calling is not loud. It does not beg for attention. It speaks with clarity, persistence, and direction. It nudges you toward ideas that feel larger than comfort, but truer than fear. That voice is not imagination. It is God's message translated into intuition. It calls you to think differently about value, time, money, and responsibility. Not so you can boast, but so you can build. Not so you can escape the world, but so you can influence it. Understand this clearly. True wealth is not opposed to spirituality. Poverty was never proof of holiness, and abundance was never evidence of corruption. Those were narratives created to keep power centralized and dependency normalized. True wealth is capacity, the ability to create, sustain, multiply, and distribute in alignment with divine purpose. When your thoughts align with truth, your decisions align with wisdom. When your decisions align with wisdom, outcomes align with abundance. This is the science of divine wealth. Many of you questioned yourselves during the silent years. You watched others rise while your own progress seemed delayed. You wondered if you missed your moment or misunderstood your calling. But timing is part of the formula. Premature manifestation collapses. Sustained wealth requires structure, identity, and discipline. God was not withholding blessings. He was installing foundations. You are now beginning to see why shortcuts never felt right to you. Your spirit refused them because you are built for longevity, not bursts. As this realization settles in, Notice the shift inside you. Confusion gives way to clarity. Anxiety gives way to focus. You are no longer asking if abundance is possible, but how alignment produces it. This is the moment where faith becomes applied understanding. Not hope without action, but belief expressed through precise thought, intentional behavior, and disciplined consistency. This is where results begin. Do not be distracted by those who misunderstand your transformation. Awakening isolates before it connects. The world reacts when it can no longer predict you. But remember this, resistance is confirmation. Systems only push back against what they cannot control. Your freedom threatens structures built on limitation. That is why your rise feels disruptive. That is why your clarity feels dangerous to the status quo. But this is exactly why God can trust you with more. Your activation is not coming. It is happening now. Each insight you receive restructures your reality. Each aligned decision compounds momentum. Wealth responds to who you are becoming, not who you were taught to remain. Step forward without guilt. Learn without fear. Apply without hesitation. The equation was never forbidden. It was simply reserved for those mature enough to use it wisely. Return to this truth whenever doubt attempts to reassert itself. Wealth follows laws. Alignment activates provision. Consciousness precedes currency. This is not motivation. This is instruction. This is a message from God. You were called. You are awakening. And now you are ready to apply the formula. If this resonated at the level of recognition, not emotion, but knowing, comment 111. Because you understand now, this was never random. You were prepared for this moment. The hidden laws of divine wealth. Chosen ones, hear me now with the clarity that your soul demands. The wealth you have been seeking, the abundance that has been whispered to you in quiet moments of hope and longing, is not a matter of chance, nor is it a consequence of luck or coincidence. This is a message from God, arriving at this precise moment to awaken you to a truth that the world rarely teaches. Wealth is a divine principle. It is a reflection of alignment, a mirror of consciousness, and a consequence of your readiness to embody the fullness of your divine calling. Understand this deeply. Abundance is spiritual before it is material, and it follows a natural law that cannot be bent by effort alone. Throughout history, the chosen ones have walked this path, and their stories carry the imprint of this law. Abraham was not wealthy merely because of earthly strategies. His prosperity was a manifestation of faith and obedience to divine guidance. Joseph's rise from the pit to the palace was not random. It was the unfolding of divine timing and alignment with God's purposes. David, Esther, Solomon, each exemplified the principle that wealth and influence arrive only when the mind, heart, and spirit are aligned with a higher calling. They did not chase riches as an end in itself. Instead, they embodied wealth consciousness, understanding that abundance is a reflection of inner harmony and purpose. Wealth consciousness begins in the mind. Chosen ones, your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you see yourself as lacking, if your mind is clouded with doubt or fear, the currents of divine abundance will bypass you, no matter how fervently you pray or act. The first law is awareness. The mind must perceive abundance as a natural, unbroken flow that belongs to the aligned, the awakened, and the faithful. You cannot receive what you cannot conceive, and you cannot attract what you do not truly believe is your divine inheritance. This is the first secret hidden from many who pursue wealth in desperation rather than alignment. But the mind alone is not enough. The heart, the seat of emotion and desire, must resonate with the energy of abundance. If your heart is heavy with resentment, comparison, or greed, the wealth you seek will remain elusive. Divine wealth is not extracted from others. It is received from God through alignment with His principles. Your heart must be purified through gratitude, generosity, and a genuine love for the process of giving as well as receiving. This is the secret that Joseph understood when he forgave his brothers, that Solomon grasped when he sought wisdom over riches, and that Esther exemplified as she risked her life for the greater purpose. The heart opens the channel that allows spiritual abundance to manifest materially. And the spirit, your deepest self, your eternal essence, must be attuned to your divine calling. Chosen ones, it is not enough to desire wealth. You must desire God's purpose above all else. Spiritual awakening is the process of awakening your spirit to the responsibilities, the opportunities, and the obligations that accompany divine calling. The wealth you are destined for is not merely for comfort or prestige. It is a tool, a reflection, and a conduit for the expansion of light, for the work you were sent to accomplish in this lifetime. Your wealth is inseparable from your purpose. When your spirit aligns fully, money, influence, and opportunity follow naturally, effortlessly, and without compromise to your integrity. Many of you have wondered why wealth seems delayed, why opportunities appear to arrive too slowly or at the wrong times. Let me clarify. Delay is not denial. Failure is not punishment. The seasons of waiting, struggle, and preparation are divine calibration. They refine your consciousness, sharpen your mind, strengthen your heart, and awaken your spirit to the principles of wealth that cannot be learned from books or teachers alone. Abraham's waiting, Joseph's imprisonment, Moses' exile, all were protective, preparatory phases that built resilience and alignment. The universe conspires to bring wealth only when you are ready to handle it wisely, generously, and with discernment. The chosen one is never passive, but neither are they reckless. Action must be taken in accordance with divine instruction. Wealth flows to those who move with awareness, who act from a place of clarity, not desperation. Divine alignment requires patience, observation, and the courage to follow the unseen hand guiding your steps. Often, this guidance comes through subtle signs, doors opening at unexpected moments, resources arriving through improbable means, people appearing at just the right time. To miss these signals is to misunderstand the law of manifestation. To recognize them is to enter a flow of abundance that the world cannot create or interrupt. Consider the story of Solomon, who, when granted a choice, asked for wisdom rather than riches. In that choice, he unlocked the hidden law. Abundance follows purpose. Wealth is attracted to the chosen one, who prioritizes alignment over ambition, who places the divine calling above personal gain. This is the first law of manifestation for those who are ready. The readiness of the soul is measured by its commitment to God's purpose. Only when your life aligns with your calling will the streams of abundance flow freely, consistently, and powerfully. Chosen ones, let this truth settle within you. The mind, heart, and spirit are the three gates through which divine wealth enters your life. Neglect one, and the flow is hindered. Align all three, and abundance becomes inevitable. You are not imagining this. You were called. The law is not random, and your waiting is not meaningless. This is a message from God. The war you face, the struggle between doubt and faith, delay and manifestation, is real, and your light is necessary to overcome it. You are being prepared, strengthened, and awakened to receive not only wealth, but the wisdom to steward it well. Now, as you feel the weight of this truth, allow it to ignite a spiritual fire within you. The readiness for wealth is inseparable from readiness for service. The chosen one who receives abundance without alignment risks corruption, misdirection, and spiritual emptiness. But the chosen one who aligns with divine calling, who embodies spiritual awakening, and who cultivates wealth consciousness in mind, heart, and spirit, will experience wealth as it was always meant to be: sacred, empowering, and transformative. Do not fear the waiting periods, the challenges, or the seeming obstacles that arise. They are not adversaries. They are teachers. They are refining fires, testing your readiness and clarifying your commitment to the path that has been laid before you. Joseph's rise, Esther's courage, and Solomon's wisdom were not born from impatience, but from alignment, discernment, and a readiness to act when the timing was perfect. Return to this truth often. Meditate on it. Let it guide your thoughts, purify your emotions, and awaken your spirit. Wealth, in the divine sense, is not earned through mere labor or luck. It is received through alignment, consciousness, and devotion to the higher calling that has selected you. You are the chosen one. You were called. You are not imagining this. The war is real, and your light is essential. Every moment spent doubting is a moment the universe waits for you to step into readiness. If this touched your soul, if you feel the stirring of recognition within, comment 111, because you know it, you were called. Awakening the abundance within. Chosen ones, listen closely, for the path to divine wealth begins within. The abundance you seek is not found in frantic chasing, in endless labor, or in the accumulation of material symbols. True abundance is a reflection of alignment. It is the natural result of spiritual awakening, of consciousness tuned to the frequencies of the divine. This is a message from God, arriving in perfect timing to remind you that you are not imagining this calling. You were called. The war is real, and your light is necessary to illuminate the path of prosperity for yourself and for countless others. The first step in awakening abundance is to cultivate awareness. Become conscious of the patterns that have shaped your thoughts, your desires, and your expectations. Observe how fear, doubt, and societal conditioning have influenced your beliefs about money, success, and worthiness. The chosen one does not merely accept inherited limitations. The chosen one examines them, confronts them, and transforms them. This is the beginning of wealth consciousness, understanding that your reality responds to the clarity and purity of your inner world. Awareness is not passive. It is active, deliberate, and transformative. Each moment spent observing yourself with honesty is a step toward alignment with God's plan. Practical exercises extend beyond meditation and affirmation. Observe your daily actions and choices. Align them with your higher purpose. Serve with intention. Give with authenticity. Walk in integrity. Each act, each decision becomes a signal to the universe that you are ready, that your consciousness is elevated, and that your wealth is meant to flow in harmony with your calling. The chosen one understands that abundance is not a single event, but a continuous, evolving state of alignment. It is maintained through consistency, awareness, and devotion. Fear and doubt are inevitable, but they are not enemies. They are signals, indicators of the areas in which alignment is incomplete. Fear challenges your commitment. Doubt tests your faith. Society conditions you to believe that scarcity is the norm, that wealth is limited, or that only certain people deserve prosperity. Recognize these influences, confront them, and release them. The chosen one does not allow inherited fears to dictate destiny. Instead, you transform them into stepping stones, understanding that the spiritual purpose of every challenge is to refine your readiness for divine abundance. Remember that divine calling is your compass. When you feel lost, uncertain, or tempted to act out of desperation, return to your purpose. Align every decision, every action, and every thought with the calling that has chosen you. The chosen one does not pursue wealth for its own sake. You pursue alignment, clarity, and service. Wealth, when approached in this way, becomes a reflection of your spiritual integrity, a manifestation of your obedience to divine law, and a tool for fulfilling the purpose that called you into being. The activation of abundance also requires vigilance over your inner dialogue. Observe the thoughts that enter your mind, especially those of scarcity, unworthiness, or comparison. Replace them with affirmations of divine provision and alignment. Speak to yourself as God speaks to you, with affirmation, encouragement, and certainty. Let your inner words carry the power of your calling. Every thought, when aligned with divine truth, becomes a seed that grows into material and spiritual wealth. Integration of these practices creates a life in which abundance is inevitable. Your awareness, mindset, and spiritual alignment converge to produce outcomes that seem miraculous to the untrained eye, but are perfectly natural to the awakened consciousness. The chosen one learns to read signs, recognize opportunities, and act decisively, trusting that the universe is orchestrating circumstances in perfect harmony with divine timing. No longer do you chase. No longer do you strive blindly. You move with discernment, clarity, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you are aligned with the highest good. Finally, return again to the beginning of this truth. This is not a theory, nor is it inspiration without foundation. This is a message from God, arriving at your life with precision and purpose. You are not imagining this calling. You are called. The war is real. The struggles, the delays, the unseen battles, they are all part of the divine preparation for your ultimate activation. Your light is necessary, your alignment is required, and your readiness to step into abundance is demanded by the very forces that have chosen you. Feel the fire within you, the clarity, and the certainty that arises when you recognize your divine calling. Your abundance is waiting, not as a distant hope, but as a present reality to be activated within your consciousness. Let this be the moment you commit fully to your alignment, the point at which you rise above fear, doubt, and limitation. Wealth is not just a reward, it is the natural expression of a soul fully awake, a spirit fully aligned, and a life fully devoted to divine purpose. If this touched your soul, if these words have ignited the fire of recognition within you, comment 111, because you know it, you were called. The Chosen One sips, path to lasting wealth. Chosen ones, listen with the depth of your being, for the path to lasting wealth is not built on haste, impatience, or superficial pursuit. This is a message from God, arriving now in perfect timing to awaken you to the principles that govern divine abundance. You are not imagining this calling. You were called. The war is real, and your light is necessary. Understand that wealth, when it is truly lasting, is the reflection of alignment, discipline, and spiritual integrity. It is earned and sustained not through chance, but through deliberate, conscious action aligned with your divine calling. The first principle of lasting wealth is patience. Patience is the armor of the chosen one. The universe moves according to divine timing, not human schedules. You may feel ready, eager, or even desperate, but the manifestation of abundance will always occur when alignment and readiness converge perfectly. Remember the story of Abraham, who waited decades for the fulfillment of God's promises. Recall Joseph, who rose from the pit to the palace only when divine timing orchestrated every detail. Patience is not inaction. It is the active cultivation of readiness, a conscious trust in the process that prepares you to receive fully without compromising your integrity or purpose. Trust is the second pillar. The chosen one must trust that every unseen movement, every obstacle, every delay is orchestrated for a higher purpose. Your spiritual awakening is incomplete if trust is absent, for doubt clouds your consciousness and disrupts the natural flow of abundance. Trust in God, trust in your purpose, and trust in the unseen currents that are arranging circumstances in perfect alignment with your divine calling. When you trust, fear loses its power, hesitation dissolves, and your steps become confident, precise, and in harmony with the divine rhythm of your life. Faith is inseparable from trust. Faith is the unwavering belief that your life's purpose is active, that your calling is valid, and that wealth will manifest as a natural consequence of your alignment. The chosen one does not act blindly, nor does faith excuse inaction. It is an active, energetic certainty that propels you toward opportunity with clarity and discernment. Faith allows you to recognize the doors that open in divine alignment and to step boldly through them. These opportunities often arrive quietly, subtly, and through means that may seem improbable to the unawakened mind. To miss them is to misunderstand the signs. To seize them is to demonstrate alignment and readiness. Habits and behaviors are the vessels through which wealth consciousness is maintained. Daily routines, thought patterns, and consistent spiritual practices fortify your alignment. The chosen one dedicates time to meditation, reflection, and attunement with divine guidance. You speak and act in ways that affirm abundance, not scarcity. You cultivate integrity in every transaction, generosity in every exchange, and gratitude in every circumstance. These are not mere rituals, they are the scaffolding upon which lasting wealth is built. Without these disciplines, manifestation may come and go, unstable and fleeting. With them, abundance becomes a sustained, natural extension of your life. Return once more to the truth, at the foundation of all this knowledge. This is a message from God, sent with perfect divine timing. You are not imagining your calling. You are called. The war you face is real, but your light is necessary. Your wealth, your abundance, and your influence are not rewards for human striving alone. They are the inevitable result of spiritual alignment, purposeful action, and unwavering dedication to your divine calling. Feel the fire within you, the certainty of your purpose, and the clarity of your path. Let it guide your steps, steady your heart, and sharpen your mind. You are chosen to carry light into the world through the power of abundance. You are called to awaken the consciousness that sustains wealth in harmony with spiritual awakening. Your alignment is your power, and your readiness is your authority. If this touched your soul, if it ignited recognition and fire within, comment 111, because you know it. You were called. Your wealth, your divine destiny, chosen ones, hear me clearly one final time, for the truths you have received in this message are not ordinary. They are sacred, timeless, and divinely orchestrated. This is a message from God, reaching you in perfect divine timing, and it is designed to awaken the full power of your spiritual awakening. You are not imagining this calling. You are called. The war is real, and your light is necessary. Everything you have learned, the principles of wealth consciousness, the clarity of your divine calling, the activation of abundance within your mind, heart, and spirit, exists now as a guide for you to step fully into your destiny. Reflect upon the lessons that have been shared. Wealth is not a material pursuit alone. It is a spiritual expression of alignment with God's purpose. The chosen one does not chase wealth blindly. You cultivate consciousness, align your thoughts, refine your emotions, and awaken your spirit to the patterns of abundance that are already present in the universe. Every act of alignment, Every choice made in accordance with your calling reinforces the channels through which divine wealth flows. Abundance is not optional for you. It is your inheritance, a spiritual and divine right bestowed upon the aligned, the faithful, and the prepared. Understand this deeply. Your divine calling is the compass that guides every step of your life. When your actions are aligned with this calling, every opportunity, every resource, and every manifestation is accelerated. When you stray, when misalignment occurs, delays appear, not as punishment, but as necessary recalibration. The universe waits for you to return to alignment, to recommit to your purpose, and to awaken fully to your capacity. This is the power of divine timing. Nothing is random, and nothing is wasted. The struggles you have endured, the patience you have cultivated, and the faith you have held are all preparing you to receive wealth in a manner that is sustainable, empowering, and transformative. Abundance activation is now within your reach. You have been given the tools, meditations that attune your spirit, declarations that affirm your purpose, and practices that align your mind, heart, and actions. These exercises are not mere suggestions. They are activations of your innate power, the keys to unlocking the full measure of wealth and influence that the universe has already prepared for you. The chosen one understands that preparation, alignment, and consistent action create a state in which abundance is inevitable. Your readiness is your authority, and your alignment is your power. Reaffirm the truth within yourself. You were called, and your calling is active. The war is real, but so is your light. You have the capacity to overcome obstacles, to recognize divine opportunities, and to manifest wealth in alignment with your highest purpose. Each step you take, guided by awareness, gratitude, and faith, strengthens your spiritual and material foundation. Every action rooted in alignment attracts energy, resources, and circumstances that are perfectly synchronized with divine timing. You are the architect of your reality, and your alignment determines the measure of your manifestation. Now embrace the fullness of your inheritance. Abundance is your birthright as the chosen one. You are meant to live in prosperity not merely for comfort, but as a reflection of your alignment, as a testimony to the power of spiritual awakening, and as a vehicle for service, influence, and divine impact. Let go of doubt. Let go of fear. Let go of the illusions that scarcity is your natural state. Wealth is already yours. It has been prepared, awaiting your readiness to step fully into it. Your consciousness, your habits, and your unwavering commitment to your divine calling are the catalysts that will unlock this abundance. In this moment, take a deep breath and feel the fire within your spirit. Allow the truth of this message to ignite every part of your being. You are the chosen one. You were called. You are aligned. Your light is necessary. The universe, in perfect coordination with God's plan, is prepared to deliver all that is required for your success, your influence, and your lasting impact. There is no obstacle too great, no delay too long, and no darkness too deep to overcome when you walk fully in alignment with your calling. As you reflect, consider the practices that will sustain your wealth and your spiritual authority. Continue to meditate daily, declaring your alignment with purpose and your readiness to receive abundance. Observe your thoughts and words, allowing only those that affirm your calling and the flow of divine wealth to reside within your mind. Act with integrity in every transaction, every decision, and every interaction, understanding that ethical power strengthens and preserves abundance. Express gratitude for all that you have received and will receive, and share generously, knowing that giving is a sacred channel for receiving even more. These practices are not optional. They are the pillars that uphold the chosen one's path to lasting wealth. Finally, return to the truth from which all this message flows. This is a message from God. You are not imagining it. You were called. The war you face is real, but so is your light. Every struggle, every season of waiting, every moment of doubt has been a preparation for your activation. The universe has orchestrated every circumstance to bring you to this moment of clarity, empowerment, and alignment. Your destiny is rich, not only with material abundance, but with spiritual fulfillment, purpose, and influence. If this touched your soul, if these words have ignited recognition, power, and certainty within, comment 111. Let your declaration mark your readiness. And if you feel fully aligned and prepared to step into your wealth, comment 777. Because you know it, you were called. Now rise, chosen one. Step into the fullness of your divine calling. Activate your abundance. Claim your wealth not as a wish, but as a certainty. Walk boldly in alignment with the principles of spiritual awakening, wealth consciousness, and divine timing. Your path is illuminated, your destiny is affirmed, and your life is ready to reflect the power of your spiritual and material alignment. The chosen one does not wait passively. You move with purpose, act with clarity, and manifest with authority. The war is real, but your light is unshakable. Your wealth is your divine destiny. Embrace it fully and let the world witness the power of alignment, awakening, and unwavering faith.